Good afternoon, Ms. Rees.
Yes, the Jamaica Progressive League. What are your recollections of the contributions of the league in the early days? Or if you can tell me how the league actually started out?
The league was founded by a group of Jamaicans in the United States. Adolph Roberts, Ethelred Brown, some ladies, I don't remember the name.
Yes.
But they advocate self-government. This is after the Garveyite movement get a nosedive. There were Domingo, Wilfred A. Domingo,
Right.
and a lot of distinguished Caribbean people.
Yes.
But they advocate self-government for Jamaica. It's a new dimension after the Garvey back to Africa. And then you had, in that particular area, you had a man in Jamaica by the name of Walter Adolph Roberts, W.A. Roberts. No, W.A. Walter Adolph, not Roberts, you know. McFarlane, W.G. McFarlane. He wrote to them. He's one of these sitting association and progressive thinker at the period. And he wrote to them that he would love to have a chapter of his farm in Jamaica in 1937, a year apart. And they say yes. So when the 30th thing started, Robert W.A. McFarlane speak to them about the situation, and they sent some money to him to look after, to get St. William Grant and R.D. Evans to represent the workers in Rome. Well, they were the foundation. Remember, the founder of the PNP at the same time, too, because then in the process of W.A. Domingo, Domingo was in America, but you have an active group, Barker. He eventually come here to the city, and they are progressive thinkers, because then in those days citizen associations and active. They run for parish council elections, parochial board in those days, and the KCAC.
Right.
And so they set the agenda and the Civic Improvement Association in Bosa, the expansion of the township of Kingston, because at that particular time, people like Walker, Chisholm, a lot of people came out in defense of the Constitution. I can't remember all, but a lot of them came at hand, because then we had a function at the Institute of Jamaica.
Yes.
In honoring the founding fathers of the government, because at that time Norman Man did not agree to participate in any political activity. Ken Hill, Frank Hill, and those group of people, they were part of the early period of thinkers. Fairclough, who eventually started public opinion in that particular, and another soul. They were part of the founding. Vernon Arnett was a blank clerk in the country. Westmoreland, I believe, came over to Kingston, and he was part of the founding membership of the PNP.
He was a what? Land?
A clerk.
Yes.
Bank clerk.
Oh, bank clerk.
Clerk in the bank.
Right.
And he could write in pencil pages and pages of thought, thinkers. There are a lot of thinkers and nation builders. Those names are forgotten, because then not even the present PNP remember anything about them in terms of history as concerned. And so there were petitions and various presentations to the government to improve the Constitution and changes, and this was part of the fundamental purpose of the League. They wanted self-government within the Commonwealth. They've not a song. I don't remember it. But they had a for self-government for Jamaica within the Commonwealth crest. a nation amongst nations, proud in her liberty. So they did a lot of work.
Those are some of the words of the song that you can remember.
But they did a lot to motivate the Jamaicans abroad. Then you had a man like Ashley Kirk. He was a piano tuner and a songwriter, but he wrote "Hail to Jamaica, the Island of Spring," "Peace on our meadows, a radiant spring, small is our island, but beauty so rare, no place on earth can compare. Jamaica lies in the blue Carib Sea. We crown thee, we hail thee, we showers on thee. For the good of our island, hope we never forget our human rights. So there had a lot of songs at a period.
And that song was popular at the time?
Yes, man. School children used to sing it. Hail to Jamaica, the island of spring, peace on our meadows, a radiant spring. Small is our isle, but the beauty so rare. River and flood, we can compare. And a lot of songs, beautiful Jamaica songs that don't use it these days because this generation. But we had a music.
The writer.
Yeah.
He was living in Jamaica at the time, or he was overseas?
This who wrote Hail to Jamaica was Ashley Kirk, was a Jamaican. He was here running business, a piano business, and
in Jamaica.
Yes, and he used to prepare pianos, write music, have choir, and spread the word of culture.
Black Jamaican?
Yes, man. Ashley Kirk, the musicologist in the 1920s. Not many. You have Granville Campbell. He was a tenor.
What's his first name?
Granville Campbell.
Okay.
He's a fantastic tenor. Again, he contributed to the Garvey program too, because he came out of the Garvey movement. Because when Garvey came back here in 1928, he started a cultural movement, and that built out all the voices that could sing and the dancers could dance, you know. They were part of that evangelical group of people who love Jamaica. Singing, and W. McBean, who did a lot in the 1938 disturbance. I have some of the songs. Informed. So we have a lot of fun. You see, culture is an essential part of the development of the Jamaica psychic. And so, in the development of the 20s and the 30s, I steadfast, elocution, contest. These were the things that generate love for the country, and they build up the aesthetic beauty of the island. Because everybody saw no beauty of it. Because the Caribbean Sea was the seventh, the Caribbean Sea that we have in Kingston Harbour was the seventh largest body of water in the world. The size and the value. Today it's polluted, but that nevertheless makes that a beautiful piece of island, one of the seventh in the world.
Let's talk a little about some of the founders of the Jamaica Progressive League, what you can recall. Adolph Roberts, for example.
Adolph Roberts was a Jamaican who have contributed enormous. After he finished in America, he came back to Jamaica, and he worked with the Gleaner to build up 7 books of Caribbean thought. And he did a lot of when the Gleaner was down Harbour Street here. We had it's really a gem of thinking who love Jamaica, people who contribute much. And there are many. Even when the Institute have a lot of information on these people, because they are in the archive at the Institute, have a lot of the names, because when McFarlane closed the Institute, closed the Progressive League, he gave volumes of his thing that he had on paper. And up in the 60s, we had a function at the Institute there with honoring W.G. McFarlane for his work. Because in the development of certain areas in Kingston, like Boucher Park, Kingsway, and those expansion of the township, they were responsible for their business people. They were architects. W.G. McFarlane was an architect, and he drew plans for, because he was living in Kencut at one time, and he moved from Kencut and went out to live at the end of Mullines Road there, Willardine. He set up business there and lived until he died. And he did. In 86, we had another chapter, a renewal of the Progressive League, that I get involved in. Jimmy Tucker, Roy Johnston, and other people came along to build up the need for keep the league alive.
Is that the Hartford chapter?
Hartford?
Yeah.
It was a Kingston chapter.
Oh, the Kingston chapter. Okay. All right, Adolph Roberts, while he was here, he used to have speeches.
Yeah, we were part of the intellectual development, because then they had a series of, what do you call it, debates. They had Kingston Literary Debating Society. They were debating various matters, subject, self-government, freedom of thought and thinking. So they spent the time, letters to the editor of the Gleaner, the whole question of the part of the Garvey legacy that left, and was the Renaissance in the United States of America, and the various development black people all over the world. They contributed to the great regeneration of thinking, to get people like Norman Malibu to convince him that must come into public affairs. You had a press, it's the press, to make a press association. It was way back in the 30s and the 40s that these things existed. Downtown Kingston was the centerpiece. You had Blake, who did the magazine, who printed a magazine, Downtown Kingston there. He jumped in this Myrtle Bank Hotel with a white suit on to get presentation that black people can't participate in Myrtle Bank, and Myrtle Bank was not only for a hotel for white people alone. So we had a lot of, things, intellectuals of various stalwart.
So he was invited to talk at Myrtle Bank?
No, but you see, Myrtle Bank was a place where most white people came in. So one day he just get mad and he wanted to take a swim in the beach, in the pool. And he just jump in there with him clothes on. Great a sensation. They had this girl, Blake Hannah, this is his daughter.
What came out of that?
New sensation, talk.
Okay.
Blake was an ex-policeman, He was a kind of detective at one time, but a journalist and things like that. So that people looking in one job, they specialize in anything that suit the mood of the particular moment time.
John Young.
John Young?
Familiar with them?
No.
Okay. What about Wendell Mallet?
Wendell Mallet was in New York.
Okay, he was in New York.
New York. And Baby Young is New York too. There's a New York group of people. They come this year regular, because they came down and they make presentation to the Royal Commission at the time in the 1938 disturbance.
Do you know anything about the structure of the league?
Structurally, it was a organization that was well thinking, because then in the early period of the 30s, Kingston was just by Tarleton Bridge. Part of the East Race Coast come down around Binnerton. Not Binnerton, Binnerton was a township separate and distinct. But they were living, people living, the doctor and the lawyer lived right downtown Kingston. There's no St. Andrew where they live, or where like it's today.
Yes.
And so they live in a composite participatory system. Everybody lived together, share dinner, share culture. And so the unification of the city and the expansion, they were envisaging that Kingston should be expanded to, that by that time in 1925, the amalgamation of Kingston and St. Andrew. With Kingston Parochial Board, with St. Andrew Parochial Board, the government gives him the job to unify the city. And so you have Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation come out of a unification of the board, parish council, Parochial Board really.
We know that the Garvey movement, for one, in a sense, was elitist in terms of the membership, right? Would that be true also of the Jamaica Progressive League?
Well, the working people didn't have much say, you know, because it's a mass of illiterate people. The working class, the laborer, they couldn't read. And so a campaign was launched, even by the said Greener, as I mentioned earlier, that people in the park would, one man who could read, would take hold of a green of a day and read it verbatim from page to page. At another place that did it well was Machado Tobacco Company, that on so Campwood Corner, for in Cuba, you know, wherever tobacco is grown, tobacco worker use their hands to make tobacco. They don't have the time to sit down and read and to argue. So they have a reader, they have a microphone, they have a system that broadcasts the whole paper, and people read from page to page. And so this is how the people get to learn and read. And that people look on the yellow page of the Gleaner to the special interest. They buy the Gleaner, and especially because today's a Gleaner is $100. Yes, was a quarty. So a penny was for a Gleaner.
Yes.
So it was paper was so cheap then, and the information was there. And from time to time, Marcus Garvey had a paper, Negro World.
Yes, but that was in the United States.
Yes, and he printed it, man.
They had it out here.
He printed it, yes.
Oh.
Yes, when he come back, he printed it, started it.
Okay, but that one was the black man, right?
Yes, the black man. Yes, the black man, right.
But the Negro World was not.
No, the Negro World is in America.
Right, we didn't have it out here.
But the copy come here, you know.
You got copies of the Negro World as well?
Yeah, the paper and all of this, we go through the world. People carry it and post it, and the information was spread.
Okay.
Negro World means that another black man is in the world.
Yes.
Information was there, something in it for them.
Okay. And his Garvey's paper did well at the time?
Oh yeah. It was intellectual. But those could have read the leadership for the quality of the people.
Yes. What was the price? You remember the price of the black man?
It could be about, I don't think it was.
Was it more than the...
Depends. No man, about the same price.
Okay. All right, you had mentioned never soul.
Crab never soul.
What they call it?
Crab never soul.
Why was that?
Because he bowled in cricket, he bowled like a crab. And wasn't especially good, but he had a finesse of bowling.
Oh.
And so they call him Crab never soul.
Right, okay.
It was a pet name, you know. Well, jovial type of person.
Okay. His role in the league, because they said that they used to have meetings at his place,
Right.
Nether Soul's place. Do you know anything about that?
No, because I was a young man, you know, people are older than me, so,
Yes.
but they are the culture group and things like that. Because you have the Kingston Literary and the Debating Society. You have people like the black man, he was secretary, the culture group, with Amy Bailey, them, you know, set a middle class, and them have a place up where the Minister of Finance is now, they call it a lawn.
What was that?
It's a lawn on East Race Course here. Where the a lawn,
Okay.
a big house, and there was a party there and function, you know.
Yes.
And Garvey put on an elegance, elegance of dress, and the deportment of people who had well to do
Right.
could sit and have tea party and things like that. Because anything that the white man can do, we can do it and can do it equal and better.
Right.
So it was a question of building cohesion and understanding with black people.
You know anything about Silver Slipper Club?
Well, Silver Slipper was a club at Crossroads. Yeah, that big piece of open land is now a dodging fence at one time.
Yeah.
It was a club that was existed because then you had on the east, on the west, yes, on the one side of Silver Clipper, that was Old Hope Road,
Yeah.
and then you have Upper Camp, with a lot of soldiers, Gerald Forrester, the various regiment come and say, kind of whorehouse business, that people come in and have drink and the club.
Oh, that type of club?
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, massive thing.
Okay.
And beside that you have the movies theatre, and below that you have the Carib.
You have the movies?
You have a moving picture theatre
Okay.
run by Palace Amusement, and then you had later years after Carib Theatre was formed.
Okay. Not in the same location where?
Yeah, where Carib is now.
That's where the movie?
No man, you was where the open land is.
Oh, okay.
That above Crossroads.
Yes.
And you see Palace, Carib was just where it is now.
Where it is now.
Carib Theatre.
Okay. So you know anything about the meetings, the Jamaica Progressive League meetings at Silver Slipper Club?
Well, the culture, place where people could rent a place for a meeting, and then the well-to-do black people and brown people would attend this meeting, because Nelly Soul is not a black man, Nelly Soul is a fair brown-skinned man. Roberts is a brown man too, brown skin. They developed quite of intellectual stability. They were part of the group of people that when the man who Lady Musgrave refused, the governor's wife at that particular time, refused to drive down Old Hope Road, because they didn't want to pass a house owned by a black man.
Right.
And that black man did own Sybil. So these are some of the infantry that we face as a race of people, you know, because then people don't talk about that.
Right.
They don't talk about Lady the company of the governor at the institute. But they were highly outrageous, forward. They have no respect for black people.
Yeah.
Because the man owned property. She can't drive at a Cutter Road through King's House land to give her Lady Musgrave Road.
What about some of the achievements of the Progressive League?
It supported the need for self-government. I believe it supported the self-government thing that man eventually supports. A lot of progressive.
And the PNP?
And the PNP.
Was it instrumental in the formation of the PNP,
yes,
or it just assisted?
Well, they assisted in the thinkers to bring the think tank. People thinking was progressive, and that the solicitors, the lawyers who were living in town, they were for self-government, but a lot of the middle-class people weren't for self-government. They were loyal British loyalty, because you had a whole, the Gleaner.
Yes,
The Gleaner was the most harsh reactionary with the people's anti-self-government movement. Criticized the Progressive League because it was at the Moravian Church at North Street and Duke Street,
yes,
that the Progressive League was formed.
Yes.
By the minister gave the league members a chance to form it and organize it there. So there's a lot of, irrelevant today that we have a Jamaica Prime Minister is in Havana, and I showed joy with Cuba, how Cuba helped Cuba when Cuba was the international whorehouse for the American before the revolution. Today, we mash up Osamati School because your children in Spanish couldn't go there. But Osamati School was a special school. It was aimed at building new leadership within the region. The quality leadership in terms of culture. Because if you was a Rastafari person, you couldn't go to that school. Because every child there, there's a free Baba lesson, you're learning self-development.
Okay.
See, your nails and your manicure, all of that was part of the school curriculum. No school of it, no school today had what the Cuban brought here in that particular period.
Oh, so that was their brainchild?
Yeah, Usamati. Because he was one of the founding fathers of the Cuban Revolution, thinking of the Cuban Revolution. And they bring together a culture change to the region. But we didn't see that way, we see it as negative. It's communism, Cuba. And so we had a lot of people, but we have not analyzed the gifts that this country get from Cuba, because then in Hussein Marty, they had property in the hills of St. Andrew.
Yes.
They live up there, Hussein Marty live here. Because they were kingship in tobacco. And Jamaica was a good tobacco land.
Yes.
To build the quality cigars that Cuba sell. That was a matter to smoke and develop. We have not studied contemporary Jamaican history with Cuban history to see the reason why the affinity between, even when Boulevard came here in the early period, Simon Boulevard, they're part of that, they're part of the development of the old Caribbean. Why all the Cuban, the Venezuela, all the country, they're part of and the PAC, they are part of that. We have a lot to learn, to gain from relationship within the Latino. So we have a lot to learn. Now we're not learning much. Because we the people who don't believe in history.
Yes. Adult suffrage 1944, that was something that the Jamaica Progressive League had advocated.
Oh yes, and that's a part of Norman Manley. When Manley appeared before the commission,
yes,
said that demand that you have a certain, you have adult suffrage. Each man wrote a qualification. And the British government accepted that.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to qualify. Other people like Jack Smith wanted you should count literary standard.
Who was Jack Smith?
Jack Smith was a lawyer, was a barrister, was under the progressive thinkers at the time.
Yes.
But he wanted qualification to Smith, Manley were part of that emergence black middle class who came out of the slave rebellion. They represented the very good part of imperialism as far as they could see. The empire was good, but you must qualify to be part of it. And so this is where the differences of opinion took place, because Smith owned a lot of property in Clarendon,
yes,
and they came from Manchester, and they had a different opinion, two good barristers, and the most popular one, won the day.
All right. In addition to supporting self-determination, the League also supported or gave assistance to black communities who were in need. Are you aware of?
Oh yes, well, the point is that they always send down barrels of food or stuff and things like that from time to time,
yes,
to help the needy. Yes. Because the whole question of even the Garvey movement, it was part of the whole philosophy, yes, that you share the goods that you have with the less fortunate brothers and sisters. So in order to build a man to be a better person, you must give him food in order that he can survive the vicissitude of life. And then you had people like characters like Stennett Carcoons. You have various people in the town. They look eccentric, but what they're saying is appealing to the wisdom of and the better sense of the British government or the British intellectual or the white man's here, to have sympathy and charity in terms of Rent Assessment Act, to improve the quality of life of people and to give justice as taught by the Bible, and justice that is to be done to humankind.
Okay, so when goods were sent to Jamaica, you know anything about the distribution?
Well,
How did they go about selecting
the people?
Yeah.
Well, our community leaders,
Yeah.
and they were shared. Well, you can't get them a whole gallon, or you have to have food feast set up areas where you distribute, because you can't, if in America you get a gallon or half gallon or something, you can't go on somebody whole half gallon, you can't use it alone. So you'll have to use method that you open them, distribute them, and have a dinner, and you spread the joy by having a here and there that people can share and feel good.
Yeah.
You can't give somebody one whole heap and the other people get none.
You know where Mercy Hospital used to
What?
be?
Mercy Hospital?
Yeah.
Mercy.
Familiar with that hospital?
Mercy Hospital. What?
Well, it was said that they needed an ambulance, and some Jamaicans who are living overseas, that community, pulled together resources and sent. And it was out of that the Progressive League started.
In Jamaica?
No, in
the United States.
Right. All right, let's move on to something else. Immigration bill. Looking at the successes of the Jamaica Progressive League. Do you know anything about the immigration bill? And
There were a lot of, in America, there were a lot of national development by American law standard, and some people was against the various grouping in the United States who anti this and anti that, and so the Black Caucus, up to now, is a group of black people working together in the State Department, even in the Obama and Clinton, them playing the race card, you understand me? So there's a lot of things that have been taken in the American law, civil rights sphere to run it on this woman here on a Thursday morning. She had a program there where them talk about about Immigration Act and things like that. And so it's a national process of building law that will affect people and will protect the rights of some to discriminate against the others.
you can't recall anything back in the 1940s, 1950s about immigration, discrimination against West Indians, and the stance by the Jamaica Progressive League?
No, all this, as I tell you, I support they all have been fighting against the act that discriminates against black people. Out of Panama, Puerto Rico, up to in the 50s, 60s, 70s, you had laws in Panama that them try you. The black man don't try in America, don't try in Puerto Rico there, them try in North America, can't them try there, because the prejudice against color is a fundamental right. Even when them developed Panama many years ago, you had silver toilet and gold. The structure, the vision, the sanitary arrangement there. The silver and gold is to the white man and black, and the silver is to the black man. And so the division, both in law and structure, is to prepare you that you are inferior at all level. And so the legal structure is there to divide and rule. And the whole problem there, education, so is we fight, is the West Indies who fight to improve the quality of education for black people in America. It's not a charity. You get nothing there for free. If you don't fight, you shall surely die. structure to get world competent education to improve the quality of life.
And part of the struggle too was in the postal services in Jamaica.
Oh.
Are you familiar with W.A. Campbell?
Yeah, W.A. Campbell is a brown man who lives in Raytown. Campbell, yes. They had in the postal service, woman could marry and be a postmistress. A black woman couldn't marry and keep post because you must be a miss at all times. But when the Englishman comes, he can push the door and come in as him like. The question is, he can marry and keep the job. It was until the 1940 to 45 when Ken Hill had the Postal Workers Union, and he had been in contact with the British Union, got him get a little council to rule in the colonial office so that a woman could marry and keep the job. That a black woman could marry in the postal service and keep the job.
This was just for black women though, or it was the same for white women?
We would know for, I wouldn't say we know for white, but we know for Jamaica.
Oh, because they didn't have any black,
white women.
No,
well, they would have been the creme of the creme. People is free to welcome who you want in your house. But you could marry and keep the job there. You have to be a miss at all level.
Yeah.
So W. Campbell was the first colored man who became postmaster, then that helped change the rule and the concept of what to take place.
And this was through the effort of the Jamaica Progressive League?
No, well, Ken Hill was working through a trade union. They organized the workers in various unions. But the colonial regulations say that you can't lead a government worker union if you're not a civil servant. That is the reason why in 1945 they put them all in jail for breach of the defense regulation. The war was going on, war effort.
Yes.
But you ought not to organize worker if you yourself is not a member of the staff of that particular union. And so there was a detention order against Ken Hill, Frank Hill, Arthur Henry, because they were organizing people in the government service who was not member, they were not member of the staff of the government. Long journey.
The Jamaica Standard, because you mentioned the Gleaner and that they were not supportive of the self-government.
Yeah.
That stands for self-government. But the Jamaica Standard, what was their position? What role did they play?
Oh, it's a new paper and it's a liberal. So it supported anything that means progress, a part of different from the Gleaner.
Yeah.
Because it was cheaper, but the Gleaner was entrenched with all the anti-bias against poor black people and benefit the wealthy and the class structure in the society.
What about health reform? The Jamaica Progressive League chart a course?
Well, they supported all, because then you had, in those days, you had tuberculosis, you had to vaccinate people to get a vaccination, to get lockjaw and measles and things like that, and the other, what H.L. Simpson has done is to create a public health law. Those as part of the enlightened structure to improve the quality of health to the community. Community health aid, nurses, sanitary inspector to go to the toilet and to test them and to see that running water is good and anti-malaria, various antitoxin that the body would require for survival. And this was part of the thing that's the law that the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation had to protect the health of the citizenry. Be able to get vaccination at a certain time and their public health at various levels.
Okay. You're not familiar with the Hartford chapter?
That is in
Hartford.
That is in United States.
That's in the United States?
Yes, not Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay.
Because I went to America once and I went at an exhibition at Hartford.
Okay.
That is Canada. It's United States. Hartford.
Okay. So there was only one chapter in Jamaica, the Kingston chapter?
Yeah, you know, the progress of the country moves slow, and as a city life has to take all the brunt of the bear of the invasion from abroad to bring culture and development. And so, whilst you work in Kingston, you cover Jamaica in terms of the presentation, the newspaper publicity, and the whole development of what is taking place. Kingston really is a leading focus.
After adult suffrage, how involved was or how vigorous was the work of the Jamaica Progressive League?
Well, after party development, because once an organization was formed, the PNP, People's National Party, was formed, then they take over the bulk of the role of what the Progressive League ought to do.
Okay.
It's only when you add a decline of interest that are a disturbance of magnitude that you'd appeal to them. They come to your annual conference, delegation from the United States come. They share with you on a drive self-government. They send funds to the LPO with the various developments. So you have been part of the Progressive League in action. This was a party, it's a continuum. Once progress is making and the flag is waving and self-government is, so you come and you can sing, shout. You're shouting out to the problem because you're living it. So the whole question of survival, once the PNP survived, the progress will survive, but as ages move, age moves on, you get wane. So progress may falter and energy wane, but you have the faith in the cause. It continues.
Let's talk a little about the development of the People's National Party. At what point did you become involved? Because I know that you did some work with the PNP. At what point did you actually become involved?
Well, in 1940, we got after 38, and self-government, and the people called self-government and this and that. I got involved as a young man. I didn't have any education. I didn't have any family structure to give me knowledge, and so I learned my information through coming to the park each day, hear people talking, hear that there's a left book club down Temple Lane, and there's an information meeting here, and I inquire, and inquire in mind. So by participating in these meetings, you learn, you meet people, and you strive for information. Because then the whole township is that you go to the meeting, you can't read the paper, but you look for the picture. And there's the people who read and you listen. When you go to East Queen Street, there's another Machado, there's a man speaking for the phone, reading paper, you listen again. And so you watch things that is happening in the society, then you learn. Then you come in the evening, the night meetings at the park. Various, from Poco to Rasta, just coming and all sorts of things taking place. And you see to the Garvey movement, your Assistant William Grant, and so you learn. And the process of informed opinion, you get to absorb into something. Here a library starts at Tamlet, come up, you go up there and look at the library and watch out and see what I'm doing. Here I'm meeting a left book club, a meeting advertised, a meeting is at 86 Hanover Street. The war started 39, 40, and there was a defense regulation saying that any person who is not a member of a trade union can't lead any union. And so they start to arrest people. Overnight, September, no? Your police raid 58 Church Street, King Street, Officer Ken Hill. Them arrest Richard Hart. Them arrest Frank Hill. Them arrest Arthur Henry. Hello. PNP called for volunteers to join the struggle, and I volunteered for the 20 hours out of 20. And the people, my name Osmond Dice, asked the people to volunteer to give service to the cause, and you join till Edelweiss Park and you go there and plan to have a 10 weeks meeting, a 10 weeks training course. And I attend. First I hear Mr. Norman Manley speak, and was telling people, how dare you to lead people if you have not acquired the knowledge? And if you yourself don't know where you are going, you can't lead if you don't have the knowledge. Yeah. And this is the type of knowledge that I was gaining at that particular time. And so you're part of it, just sing. I could, voice is not so good, but you join the movement, you learn songs, you go to calisthenics, is the taking a medicine ball, big heavy medicine ball, open the stomach wide and you catch the ball and you accept the ball and you open the stomach and you win. So you learn how to sing from your stomach.
Oh, that was a training.
Training for your voice culture. You got from your stomach, that's your throat. So you learn all of those things, and that helps you through life. You learn.
So that was a part of the training that volunteers went through.
Yeah, it's part of development.
Okay.
You learn to speak, to sing, to share your thought with people, and yes, it's a training. And this is one name is Fletchett. A white woman, or Jewish or what is it? But yes, and that was training.
Oh, she was a trainer.
She was a trainer, voice trainer.
Yeah. How many persons actually volunteered at the time that you did?
Oh, would have been about 30 people,
Yes.
Got people from all part of the island move forward because that. Some of them dead off, so.
Yeah, but they remain dedicated.
Dedicated to the cause, because you learn basic things, and you move from culture to culture, and then the teachers who eventually come to a UNIA meeting. You jump from that Sunday night, you're at a UNIA meeting, you St. William Grant meeting, you're at another meeting. You know people, and they know you. So you'll be able to share thought and share the whole information process.
So when the PNP called for volunteers, they needed people to do what? Spread the whole message of self-determination. That was what That's what they need for volunteers.
Yeah, volunteer to do various, all type of things that you have to volunteer to do. Okay. Not specialize in anything, because it's a process of developing into building a nation.
So talk to me about some of the places that this volunteer work.
Well,
what are some of the things that
I did not leave Kingston, but you had people in the rural area. My name's Sam Hines. He went, he's a civil servant. He was a civil servant, pastor now. And they got to all over the island spreading the word. And getting involved with the police too. Police was watching them, what them doing as spies and things like that. And so they got locked up in prison, in the police station, in the same purpose. Because spreading PNP propaganda or trade union propaganda, which is anti-British. And then you are anti-British at the same time. You have to be understanding what your national pride is, what is the growth and development of the human psychic.
So in Kingston, your work in Kingston. Talk to me about your work in Kingston.
Well, I live in Kingston. I didn't have a job. But those are a job, carry them out in the countryside. But there are certain days, somebody going out to Manchester, you go with them and things like that, and you come back and you, because I couldn't stay out far, because I didn't live anywhere, in other words. But you have faith in the thing that you have to do every Sunday night. Where there's a group meeting, you go to the group meeting, you go to the different meetings that take place in your facility that you can go. Because people don't care if them don't know you or trust you. Trust is an important factor. When you develop a mind, then you are trusted. People will invite you to participate.
Yeah. So how was it? How was the party received at the time?
Well, it was received with faith. Faith in yourself. Faith to love Jamaica in the capacity that you can contribute to a change in the structure of the world, and that Jamaica will change to be a self-government country.
So it's mostly a grassroots followership, or
no, cross-section. People, Michael, people at different places, young solicitors, people go to England, come back. They are part of it. They go to English lawyer who's a train abroad before you have a university here.
Yeah.
And so people at all different levels, across fertilization. That's they left our native land. The right to rule our country, the right we shall never wane, the right to make our Jamaica the land of the bold and free. Majestic are thy hills and mountain, are the souls of thy faithful children, for the good of the island. Oh, we toil and never say ignore our human rights.
That's what song went.
Yeah, that's a song. It's a song that is said, the right to rule your country, the right will never wane, the right to make our dear old Jamaica the land of the bold and free.
That was not a PNP, something, a song that came out of the PNP movement.
Well, it was done by a man by the name of McBean, W. Walter McBean. Is a fanatic loyalist, Jamaican patriot.
Okay.
Workers of Jamaica, let united voices say, oh, workers of Jamaica. Let united voices sing, workers of Jamaica. The time has come for you must decide to shout our rightful claim far and wide. Oh, workers of Jamaica, unite, unite and fight. Workers all are striving in Jamaica and abroad to end this vile oppression and this policy of fraud. For freedom, peace and justice we fight, will never our right, will not give our right to our hope for all the ills you see. These are all for mixture, all for songs, all for songs.
The PNP and their association with the Soviet Union. How was that?
Well, Marcia, at the end of the war, before the war finished, they had international peace meeting in all parts of the world. And one of these meetings was held in Manchester in England, where Ken Hill went to a meeting there. And a part of that meeting was a unified meeting with people from all over the world, Russia, America, Britain, France, Germany. And they had a meeting in England, and Ken Hill attended, and his speech was anti-imperialist. At that time, Churchill has said, I will not be Our Majesty's First Minister to preside over the liquidation of the empire. You say, who will be Our Majesty's First Minister to preside over the liquidation of the empire? Attlee then, for the Labour Party, are saying that we want something more after the war for the colonies. Ken Hill from Jamaica is saying, we want something now, or we can't stand the imperial structure any longer. And so you had a right and a left, and the majority to decide. And because of the passionate speech that he made, he was elected to be Secretary of a workers' trade union, international trade union movement at that particular Sken Hill.
Okay.
When he come back to Jamaica, eventually there's another conference in Rome, that's Italy. And he was elected as Secretary of the World, Assistant Secretary of the World Federation of Trade Union. And so, at that period, the divide and rule started to split between Russia and America, the British Trade Union and the French Trade Union. And so, the left and the right start in the international politics.
Yes.
And so, this is how the areas of division started. And so we have the American free labor development, the Soviet Union, the British Trade Union was on the right, and then you had people like Grant Adams who was against communism and socialism and things like that. So we had a lot of division. So you have to decide how we shall decide.
You have to decide what? Sorry.
You have to decide which way, what side you're on.
Okay. Right.
We decide to be on the left. Other people decide to be on the right.
Let's talk about some of the early members of the People's National Party. Those that you can recall.
A lot. Well, people, those in the trade union movement, you have F.A. Glasspool. He was a conservative. You have people like Wills Isaacs, PNP, Firebrand. Divided the working people in the split, in the center. But they make contribution. You had women in the party. You had Florence Brown.
What role she played?
She was a teacher. She was an educated. She was a basic school teacher for last. Francis Judaist, you know. She was in Bond Street. She treats small children and a lot of people dedicated to the cause of nationalism. They contributed much. Diana Spencer, she used to sell candy, and they were many people. Florence Brown, people made a contribution, because then without women, no organization could survive.
Yeah.
Then you had Nastan Evans, Sherman Evans, mother, father and daughter. They had their problems, but they live in West Kingston. Kennel run in West Kingston. Again, Bustamante, they had songs, I mean, where's the leader of the labor right crying? It was not must be that from Western Kingston they run away to a place they cannot stay. Where is the leader? The labor right crying. We were all denied. From Western Kingston he run away to a place where he cannot live or stay.
Which place was that?
West Kingston, man.
Oh, the same.
Boston run from here and go to Clarendon.
Oh, you went to Clarendon. Okay.
The whip. Have a lot of important university come on. A lot of activities.
What about when Edward Seaga entered politics? You know, some people say that the whole violence started during that period.
Well,
what are your recollections of
that? What he did when he came on, there was a circus at the race course.
A circus?
Circus, gallery, shooting gallery, animals and things like that.
Yes.
But the circus get busted. So he decided to buy out part of their student friend, you know. They are gamblers, part of the equipment. And there was a shooting gallery. And in West Kingston, he had a place named Chocomo Lawn.
So that again slowly?
There was a place in West Kingston they called Chocomo Lawn,
okay,
where people was taught to shoot gun gun.
It was like a shooting range.
Shooting range gallery. So they learn Spoda, you know. And so these things develop into from wanting to have just physical shooting, one man shoot another man and things like that. So when the partisan thing divided, we start to run people out of the constituency. If you're not a PNP, you can't live here, you can't do so. But when the place was originally, it was given to the people of West Kingston, not the people because they are sufferers, the need for a home, and these things do happen. So the development of army fatigue, have a march on a Sunday, when I call out to a meeting, not even suck up on the breast, must have in the house. At 1 o'clock in a bridling sonnet. Sunday at 1 o'clock in the sun. Mother and baby suckling must come out on the street, come march.
Yes?
Yeah.
There was a political meeting?
Yeah, this is what happened. But nobody knows. They're part of the Israel line.
And so they were compelled?
Compelled, yes, man. Everybody, when you come out, when the leader call you, everybody must come out. So this is the part of the thing, you know. This is the whole problem, is the understanding the structure of what it means to be involved in a, what I call constituency, the garrison. May I call you out, the leader say you must move, everybody. Those who could afford it afterward, move out and go, enjoy them life separately and things like that. But rather, and the pocket in the church, involved in the pocket in a business and the mission and things like that. So it's tremendous. People come out of them house, baby have to go in a map and go sleep. And then you select one or two, you rescue someone and say, you're a godfather for them.
The place in West Kingston they call Dongo.
Yeah.
What was it like in the early days?
It was a massive amount of dunghill, a massive earth. You could climb up and capture the ship coming in from Port Royal. And then I'm clear down, you know. It was a dunghill. People used to live up there, garbage was thrown there and garbage, you know. So, yeah.
Anything else you would like to add about West Kingston or the Jamaica Progressive League?
Well, the Progressive League has been one of the lifetime organizations for Jamaica, the birth of a nation. It had great challenges and various pitfall in terms of history, because then is that and the PNP got in the, at one time the PNP and Federation, the league said Federation is Jamaica Folly. W. Domingo was against Federation. That is problem. Not it all depends on build a nationalism and you want to build one which is accepting what the American line of thinking is, and they build up a patriotic Jamaican front. This is a tremendous battle to build a culture in another man's country. Whilst in America you see everything through the American eyes, but the Jamaican psyche is one that you have to look at all level. All right.
All right, thank you very much.